What's going on, beautiful people? So this is my website. This is the store. This is where you can find every single product that I've been selling. You guys have been asking me, where can I find it? What do I search up? How much is everything? So it's my middle name, Rosiah.com. And I'm just gonna go through some of the things real quick with y'all so y'all can see what's going on. So we got, some t-shirts, some limited edition hoodies, some more t-shirts, another type of hoodie. We got a lot of different colors going on here. I had to provide, I got to show out for y'all. So this is where you can find everything. You can join the team and everything. You can read about me, my story, that stuff. We don't really have I'm saying we. I'm a one-man team, but I don't have much blogs out so far. Not the bang. Yeah. So, but all that in a bag of chips is my storefront so far. You can see the links goes to there. To my Instagram. Y'all should definitely follow me on Instagram. That was embarrassing. Y'all saw that. And then my Twitter. The following on Twitter is kind of low. And then all these other goodies down here too. Yeah, and y'all always say, "Oh, you're on TikTok?" Yes, I'm on TikTok. Come on now, what y'all thought this was? I'm everywhere. Y'all can't hide from me. Y'all can't hide. I'm out here. All right. Let me focus. But so this is where you can find all this stuff, all the information. I'll be sure to put it in the description below as well. Just wanted to show you guys this before I get into the video. Other than that, what's going on, beautiful people? I figured, because I kind of did y'all dirty the last couple weeks or so, I'm just gonna make maybe 3 videos or 2 or something and upload them kind of maybe back-to-back day, throughout the weekend, or all one day. We'll see how I feel. But this is probably one of the number one questions that I'm always asked. So I figured I should just make a video and give you guys some more examples to what I really mean. And that question is, how did you know that you were transgender? Or how did you realize? So I told you guys the typical story about how I kind of went about the process-ish and how I did things, coming out to my high school in the 7th grade through what's called advisory. Had every single teacher basically read a script and was like, this is what I want you to call me from now on. This is what the terms are, terminologies for everything. The whole shabada bing bada boom. But now I'm just there was tiny little instances throughout my life where it was okay, maybe kind of questioning moments, but again, I didn't know the term for it back then. So it was just okay, I feel this way, but I don't have something to connect it to. And then, I eventually found that connecting piece, which was the term. So I'm just gonna kind of recite some stories or instances where I was I guess this is kind of making sense or aligning in a way. And I'm not going to do this in chronological order because I kind of just wrote these in my notes in the way that it just, I remembered it, So, yeah, so one of the first things, and all these things are dysphoria-based moments, because that's, we don't have to get into this debate now, but I personally believe you need to have dysphoria in order to acknowledge or realize or to be trans, because it's if you don't have that dysphoria, how did you make that connection, that understanding? College Brown. How did you make that? How did you comprehend the fact that you could be trans had you have that key component that kind of, you know, declares your transness. But we don't gotta go into that tonight. No, we don't. It's still only 8:30 a.m. But yeah, so these are kind of like those small moments that kind of added up, and it was like, okay, I'm just overall uncomfortable in my body. How do I how do I not fix it, but how do I supplement it with better outcomes? Yeah. And I had to say my number one thing was when I went swimming. I would always get my bathing suits from Old Navy. All right, we already know, homeboy. We broke out here, so they would have those, those deals where they give you like, actually I don't know the numbers, but you get them flip flops for like $1 or something, and then you can get bathing suits for the low. So I always get the bathing suits. My mother would always want me to get, the 2-piece or like the 1-piece. What young girls usually get, feminine girls at least. But I was always looking for the shirt. I wanted the shirt and then the shorts, but it was always so hard to find. Like I would be looking through every store. It's so hard to find because girls, at least back then, this is like 2013, 12, 11, 10, I don't know, like, yeah, around those years, they didn't really have that for girls because it was less questioning, or at least outwardly questioning. It was less political correctness at that time. Not like it wasn't mainstream. Like the whole, I mean, people knew about tomboys, but nobody was like, oh, that's a sign for this or that or the third. So there wasn't those swim shirts. I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. It's literally just like a shirt, but the fabric is more for swimwear. So once in a while I would find one, but then again, I'm young, so I'm growing out of it, or it wasn't the right mix, because sometimes it would be like a swim shirt, like say it's white, but it got pink and splat like flowers or something all over it. So then it's like, am I really passing? Before that even was a term for me to acknowledge or internalize or understand. So then I'd wear those if I could. If not, I'm wearing a shirt over my bathing suit. And then it became a question, well, why is Sean always wearing a shirt rather than like that full 1-piece or that 2-piece or whatever? And then throughout the years, I eventually bought it's like a swim binder. As we had mentioned before, binders are like a compression type undergarment, where undergarment referred to top and bottom, whatever, but basically under like a tank top kind of thing, that compresses your chest, your tetas a little bit, so it could be a passing male chest. So I would buy that, and I bought a swim one, but it was very uncomfortable because it was like top to like stomach area, and you're kind of feeling that compression throughout. So then it would also bunch up and like kind of bunch up really and roll up a little bit. So then even if I had a shirt on top, it looked like I had like an extra like this over like under this shirt. So then it's like, what is going on underneath Sean's shirt, especially if I'm getting out the water? It was just a mess. And then like if I had to use the bathroom, I'm wet, so then I'm wet, so then I'm going to the stall or whatever. I gotta like yank this up a little bit. It was just a nightmare and all. And then I started using my regular. I got the half tank binders because I felt like that was better for like concentrating the compression on the chest only. And then I would use those, and then it's like it was annoying because it's like you have to buy all these extra materials to satisfy a certain area where you feel like you should have already been born with that problem solved, So that I was running into that issue. And then remember before I told you guys I used like these tank top with these fake binder fabric-y thing that kind of just like had like a latch, like a hook. So then that was more cloth-like, before I got to the official binder. So then it was like I'm wearing a tank top underneath my swim clothes, going swimming. I looked like I was a whole, like, what's that called? Transformer robotic type thing going into this pool with all these instruments on me and stuff. So it wasn't a fun time. What else? I played for a basketball team, kind of similar to AAU, but more on a local level to Boston. Travel team, and I mean, because like I didn't know what transgender was. If people knew I was a girl, people knew I was a girl. If they didn't know, then they were flat assuming that I was a guy. Didn't really care either way at that point. I'm probably maybe 6th grade, late 5th grade, and I was on a travel team with guys that were literally about to go to college. So it was like a range. And our coach, even if I told him if I was a girl, I don't think he even like it registered with him because I didn't look like a stereotypical feminine girl. So we would do like shirts and skins type thing, and we played in like in the hood, right? So it's like that's what it is. And I would always in my head like pray that I would get shirts, because if I got skins, it'd be like, what are these 2 lump meatballs flopping around, these little mosquito bites. And it's also like, even if I was to be like, I'm not comfortable, because some guys don't want to be on skins, in skins and shirts. It's just like one team has a shirt to represent their team, the other team doesn't have a shirt on, but I mean, some guys obviously aren't comfortable wearing, just the shirt, without the shirt. So, but it's like, if you're not comfortable, people are kind of questioning you. They're like, why not? What is the issue? So it was like, I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the other guy. So that was just another nerve-wracking moment for me. Especially again, back then, we weren't as body positive, Everybody's accepted for the way that they look. Everyone was still being clowned for just being, a little bit bigger or just too skinny, So it was one of those moments where it's like, I'm not even like a regular quote unquote guy. So it's like, I'm gonna be on the very skinny end with these little meatballs flopping. So it was like not really, yeah. And then also, this is not even on the list, but I'm also just thinking about it. Like on one of my trips, we went to like a DC trip for 8th grade. At this point, I'm already like, not transitioned period, but like I was already socially out. This is 8th grade, like I said. We went to DC, and I don't know why or how, but every time I travel or just be out with friends, girls do like talk to me more. Younger women of the same age, obviously, and they were just like, oh hey, da 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 da, talking to me, asking for my snap, my number, and stuff like that. And I'm a very humble guy. I'm also not really aware of how quote unquote attractive I am, so I never really understood it, but it kind of gave me more of a sense of confidence when it was like, when I'm passing as a guy, I do get noticed more. Cause y'all saw what I look like dog shit as a girl. So it was just like, finding confidence. I'd find that a lot more when that had happened. And it would happen a lot. Even when I was just in Boston walking with my friends. And I never understood it because, it wasn't there for me. But like looking back and acknowledging like the moments where I was like, okay, I definitely prefer aligning myself a lot more with being a guy. These are the reasons why. So yeah. What else? Yeah, when I went to one of my aunt's house, my cousin, my brother, and I, we would always like wrestle, more like WWE type wrestling, and they would always wrestle shirtless, and I would have to wear my tank top. And again, back then, political correctness was not the same. Excuse me. So if I had my tank top on, my aunt or my grandmother would be like, why you got that on? Put a shirt on. What is you doing? You know, like that type of stuff. And in my head, I'm just thinking, I remember going to, because my grandmother, she had like this, like a vanity room. I think that's how you call it, vanity room, with like her Mary Kay makeup, because she worked for them. And I literally just sit on her ottoman and start crying, because I'm like, I want to present myself the same way as them. You know, I wanted to be shirtless. I wanted to wear a tank top. So it took me so long to get comfortable in just wearing tank tops, really, because not like it was a traumatic experience, but it was like, I don't want to be outcasted again, because I wanted to fit in. It was also a Thanksgiving incident where I went to, I don't know if it was like, you know, like those aunts that aren't really your aunts but could be your aunts, but you don't really know growing up. Yeah, so one of them, and there was like, you know, when it's like a cookout, you got like a whole range of people that you don't even know. And this dude, my brother and I, we like, again, like low-key wrestling in the living room, but you know, we're kids, they just gonna let us do our thing. And he was just like, young man, talking to my brother, young man, you shouldn't be wrestling her. That's a girl. You don't hit girls. You don't touch girls. You don't da 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 da. And then I remember my brother just looking at him like, and then I'm just looking at him like, because at this age I'm probably like 11 or 10, and I was tight. I was like, yo, this is my brother. This is our relationship. Don't try to infringe on that, because I don't know who you are. Don't tell us what to do. You know, we was chilling. He wasn't hurting me. We was playing around, da 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 da. Like, I was so, like, forthright with this. Like, don't tell me how to live my life or do, da 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 da. But, you know, I was still young, so I was, like, crying a little bit, you know, just little tears. And I think that Aunt or whoever came over and was, like, kind of saw the situation, and the whole thing kind of escalated because he was like getting angry with me. He was trying to teach us like, you don't, you know, mix in that type of physical way with the genders or whatever. And she was just like, you know, leave it alone, leave them alone. Everybody just keep your hands to yourself type of deal. And I was just like so angry. Like I was so mad. Like I remember just getting up, you know, I'm Scorpio. I was, you know, going through it. And it was another one of those moments where I was like, you know, if I was just a guy, I wouldn't have to deal with this, you know? And then I remember I told him, like, oh, I wanted to play football. You know, this is what they do, da 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 da. And he was like, you shouldn't be playing football. You're a girl, da 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 da. And I was just like, I'm not even one, bro. Little do you know. So yeah, let me sneak one more in because I'm about to run out of storage. Let me sneak one more in. Da 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 da. What else was it? Was that all the ones I had? Okay, so those are basically all the ones that I had written down. But there was so many moments like that, like so many throughout my lifetime that I can just like low-key remember and just be like, dang, yeah, that was like a hint to, you know, a little bit of foresight to the future of how I'm going to end up acting or how I'm going to pursue these feelings. So if you have, because guys, a lot of people ask me, how did I know? So when I look back and see all these little moments, it's like, how could I have not known, you know? And it was really just connecting the term to the feeling. Now, when I look at everything in the world and everything I've been through, it's like, I'm so glad that I was able to figure it out during middle school and had those resources. So this is why I'm here, to be a resource for you guys. Because had I not had those resources, I probably would have found out maybe this year or something like that. Yeah. So if you guys are questioning, just like, I don't want to tell you pursue. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a specialist. I'm not a gender therapist or anything like that. But if you're questioning, all I can really say is connect the dots to what has historically aligned for you. You're questioning and all that stuff, and compare it to how you are right now. Because that's all I was doing throughout the years. I was just connecting little tiny dots that ended up having an actual meaning behind it. And it was just always just showing those signs. Again, when I was in the first grade, I wrote my name, my birth name is Nia. I wrote on my tests and stuff, Nick, and people were questioning why. And then I questioned myself why. So inherently, I always had that more masculine mentality and stuff, and I was presented as such. So the stars aligned when I found out the words for it. But I got 33 seconds before my storage starts yelling at me. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully, if I can edit these in time, I can record another video for you guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Love you guys so much. Deuces.